Boy, things sure have changed in Europe in terms of rail travel, not only because of Ovid, the big C, but also things have become a little bit problematic in terms of making reservations from the USA in terms of either Rail Europe or Eurail. It's one of the reasons I thought I'd create a little grid to show what the current status is. So here it is by country, mostly just Western European because that's the ones I know. And I've also added on the special trains, the 5 at the bottom. We'll look at those when we get there. Because of the problematic nature of making reservations, I've listed the sites for each country. And notably in the case of Czechia, that's now what they call the Czech Republic, I listed the Austrian site because it does well in terms of doing that. Next, I've listed the other countries served using the international ISO code for each country. And, well, let's see. Is your pass available for discount online? Turns out the we.sncf site for France is, and I put the no in there for Italy because it no longer is. You can do so for the Eurostar and the Thalys, but boy, those are expensive. Better idea, especially for the Eurostar, getting a better deal is just book it way in advance. Next, I've listed the trains that do need mandatory reservations. In Belgium, it's the Thalys and the Eurostar. You can avoid that in the case of the ICE train to Germany. Czechia, they have the Supercity, not recommended. I'd use their Railjet instead. Denmark, major trains take reservations. All major trains in France take reservations, and some inner cities do. Germany has a rare but very fast skipping some cities sprinter service reservations, and of course that Thalys train. You can avoid that by taking the ICE train. Ireland, don't fret. In Italy, all major trains, including IC inner cities, do take reservations. Netherlands, you need it for the expensive Thalys and Eurostar. In Portugal, their Alpha high-speed service in inner city, along with the international trains, take reservations. Notable thing about the first two, you can only make those reservations in Portugal. All major, and there are a lot of different ones in Spain, take reservations. You can no longer do those unless you're over there because they have paper tickets. You know, the big C. Sweden has the X2, that's a high-speed train, takes reservation. Switzerland, generally no problem except for the TGVs going to France. The UK has just recently been added to the Eurail Pass. Northern Ireland had been in there before, and the Eurostar, of course, is special. The reservations in the UK turn out to be free otherwise. Now we've got down listed those 5 special trains. The Euro cities, now predominantly in Eastern Europe, don't generally need reservations, but on the frequent routes you might want to do so. The Eurostar does get a discount on the pass, but better do it in advance. Save a lot. Likewise for the Italo train, not valid with a pass in Italy. Same thing with the Tello train, which is for international service between France and Italy. The very, very expensive reservations for the Thalys trains between Netherlands, Belgium, Germany, France, well, frankly, they can be avoided. Take the inner cities from Netherlands to Belgium. Take the ICE trains from Germany to Belgium. And you can avoid it if you route from Belgium through Lille to Paris. While not a deal breaker, and besides you have no choice, Wi-Fi service, or WLAN as they call it in Germany, or Wi-Fi elsewhere, is available in Austrian trains, likewise Czechia. On France, it depends on the train. In Germany, on ICE trains, not IC inner city trains. Italy, generally, yes. On the Portuguese high-speed trains, they're there. In Spain, you need your ticket. Trouble is, the paper tickets don't have the right number. They won't accept it. The others, it depends. The good ones down at the bottom, sure. Now, the next one is gate control. And the reason that's relevant is there is a lot of time involved getting through the gates. Everybody checks your ticket individually. And in the case of Spain, you also go through an airport type luggage control. And that's always the case on the major trains in France. In Italy, big stations, yes. Smaller ones, no. In Netherlands, you needed to enter the station. In Spain, all high-speed trains take that control. Likewise, for the Eurostar, which also has that airplane-type baggage control, and their ticket says you got to be there 20 minutes in advance, and that's a pretty good idea. The tickets typically say 2 minutes. If they have that gate control, I'd give it 10 to 15. Now, what's nice about the next one is you can find out where you want to stand on the platform for closer access to the proper coach. They do that in France on small screens, large screens in Italy, and on boards that are color-coded in Germany. If not, well, at least make sure if you're in the teens, get on the section Ram, Abteilung, and in teens, 20s if there, or in the numbers 1 through 8, because you usually can't go from one to the other. Now, a good idea is knowing whether or not you need to bring food, whether there's a diner, and nothing can be finer if you're in the... Okay, I'll stop. And, well, let's see. You have them on major Austrian trains. Likewise in Czechia, really good stuff. In Denmark, you have little trolleys, snacks. You have a bistro in France. That means no sit-down service. In Germany, the ICEs have diners, but the IC inner cities have bistros. Bistros in Ireland, Italy, Portugal, Spain. Oh, by the way, in Spain, no meal service at this moment. In Sweden, you have a bistro. In Switzerland, a trolley. In the great trains in the UK, you do have restaurant service. Otherwise, it's a bistro. Euro cities have great dining service. Bistro in the Eurostar. The Italo has full service. And the Tello and the Talus are bistros. And last is whether you need to stamp, validate, composte your ticket. Those are paper tickets. That's true in France and Italy. If you forget, go to the conductor right at the beginning. They'll make an announcement.